Hello, my name is Debora Hernandez. I am soon to be a graduate of Texas A&M University in Commerce. And today I will be reflecting on my leadership experience and knowledge prior to the organizational leadership coursework and also at the end of the organizational leadership coursework. My leadership ability when I first started the organizational leadership courses was that I had no experience in leadership. I have not held a job with the position of a leadership role or title. So, as I began my classes, I was reading and trying to learn as much as I could on the key areas to try to understand what leadership role would entail. My courses included behavior, ethics and leadership, leading diverse and inclusive teams, leadership theory, leading change, data driven decision making, and of course, Capstone 1 and 2. While taking the leadership theory class, I learned about transformational and servant leadership and how they are important to organizational settings. Through case studies and discussions, I gained insights into ethical decision making, effective communication, and critical thinking skills. This is where I thought of my last job, where I was a shop clerk for Republic Services in Harlingen, Texas. That is a trash company. And while going through the class, I found out that a shop clerk for a trash company I engaged in situational leadership. At this former job, I adapted to the approach based on the task at hand and the people I interacted with on a daily basis. I would ensure the efficiency operation of the shop, manage inventory, payroll, meetings, assisting colleagues, all while providing excellent customer service. I demonstrated reliability, strong communication, and ability to support both the team and the customers. I exhibited leadership qualities that contributed to overall effectiveness of the organization. When I was completing my practicum hours at an elementary school, I did notice that the students often became noisy when transitioning from group work into individual work. This consistency disrupted the learning environment and caused delays in instructional time. Applying leadership theories like transformational leadership, the teacher decided to address this issue by clearly communicating her expectations and collaboratively developing a set of transition routines with the students. She consistently reinforced these routines with positive reinforcement and provided immediate feedback when students followed them correctly. So, by modeling the desired behavior and involving the students in the process, the teacher effectively fostered a more orderly and productive classroom environment, demonstrating how leadership and clear procedures can positively impact classroom management. Now, I learned how to assess and identify leadership with people I may come across, whether that be at work or personal. I also learned that different situations call for different styles of leadership to ensure the highest effectiveness. This class will help me out and anyone else who is going into the educational field or a field that requires leadership roles or potential leadership roles. Data driven decision making class. That course, I learned how to effectively utilize quantitative data to inform managerial and entrepreneurship decisions. I gained skills in statistical analysis, data interpretation, and how to apply that data driven strategies to solve organizational problems. I learned how to use Excel a little more in depth. I have worked with Excel in the past in my other jobs, but I still have more to learn, especially on um, the formulas put into Excel. So I would be working more on that as well. By identifying and selecting relevant data with the use of various methodologies for data collection, I presented the data in a clear and actionable format. I learned to make informative decisions, improved processes, and drive organizational success based on verifiable evidence and sound analysis. Now, in the educational field, data driven decision making is essential for enhancing students' outcomes and optimizing school operations. For instance, if a school principal sees a significant problem of declining student performance in math, by employing data driven decision making, the principal analyzes quantitative data such as test scores, attendance records, and teacher assessments to identify patterns and root causes. Based on this data, the principal implemented targeted interventions, including additional tutorial sessions, professional development for math teachers, and strategies to improve class attendance. The principal also continuously monitored the data to track the effectiveness of these interventions. As the result, student performance in math improved significantly, demonstrating how data driven decision making can effectively address and overcome educational challenges. Leading Change course. On the Leading Change course, it taught me how to identify a need for change, develop a clear vision of it, and create a strategic plan to implement the change. Most of this was taught by creating a change organizational memo. Now, this memo was very educational to me, and I will be applying this concept in my future career. It taught me how to lead changes in an organization, whether it be implementing the change or presenting the change or following the change as a team member. First, by identifying the change, then providing details of the change, explaining the change approach, provide implementation strategies, review change strategy and reporting, along with a recap of the suggested change for the implementation. This course gave me the comprehensive understanding of skills to lead a successful change by communication, fostering innovation and adaptability within the organization. Leading diverse and inclusive teams course. With this course, I did learn how to research a business and see how the business dealt with diversity and inclusive teams within the company. It demonstrated how to identify and acknowledge unattended bias in team based tasks that might prevent team unity and effectiveness. This course covered strategies for addressing unconscious bias, promoting equity, and leveraging diverse perspectives to enhance team performance and innovation. Through the case studies and exercises in the course, I developed skills in inclusive leadership, conflict resolution, and effective communication across different cultural backgrounds. I also gained a deep understanding of the benefits and challenges that were associated with the diverse team, and the importance of creating an inclusive culture where all team members feel valued and respected. This comprehensive learning experience provided me with the knowledge and tools to lead diverse and inclusive teams successfully, while driving a positive organizational outcome and fostering a culture of belonging. The Behavior Ethics and Leadership class. This one I did enjoy very much because of the Ford Pinto case presented for us to analyze. I would have probably never been aware of what had happened in the case if it were not for this course. It was a very sad case, especially because when I was a young girl, my father bought me a Ford Pinto, and it was what I learned to drive in. I just thought of those poor girls which lost their lives due to the Ford company's poor ethics on prioritizing money over lives. I was surprised to find that the dissecting, dissecting the facts of this case and presenting them from my perspective in a more persuasive and argumental manner, I ended up with a highly educational essay detailing my thoughts on the case and what I had learned. This particular case highlighted the importance prioritizing human safety and ethical considerations over profit margins. Exploring the role of leadership in fostering an ethical organization culture, I was able to recognize that leaders must set the tone for ethical behavior and be accountable for their decisions. This in depth study provided valuable insights into the real world implications. Besides this case study, I also analyzed other case studies of behavior and ethical conflict that we may face in the workplace. I believe that this course was very good in the way that it shows you how important it is to apply good ethical behavior in real life work situations and our personal lives as well. Overall, this course provided me with the insights of fundamental principles of ethical leadership and the importance of ethical behavior in organizational settings. With the case studies, discussions, and self assessment exercises, I explored various ethical dilemmas and how to navigate them with integrity and transparency. By understanding the frameworks of ethical dealings and moral leadership, I was equipped with the knowledge and skills to lead with integrity, inspire ethical behavior in others, and create a positive and principled organization environment. Now, my Capstone 1 and 2. So, Capstone 1 course allowed me deep insight into the leadership concepts and theories of applying real life applications. I learned that traits like strong communication skills, creativity, empathy, and patience are very important for being a good teacher, but they don't always guarantee effective leadership. Maintaining open lines of communication with parents and having good communication skills are very important in fulfilling the students' needs. In this course, I also learned about the situational and contingency leadership theories. The two interviews were actual real life school personnel who were, this was so much different than other theories in the classes before, where you would just read the information, watch some videos, then take a test on what you had learned. With the interviews conducted in Capstone 1, I had to really process, take in all the information, and understand the concepts thoroughly as they apply to the elementary school settings. I referred to autocratic and democratic leadership styles and situational and contingency theories for my interview questions and placing all that information together. By conducting both interviews, I believe it takes a little bit of the nervousness away from my application and hiring process, and this will help me out when I go into a real interview. This course gave me a very clear understanding of the leader that I would like to be when I become a teacher. Now, as far as who I am as a leader now, well, I am still not in a leadership role, but thanks to these courses, I now feel more knowledgeable about the different types of leadership roles and theories. For right now, I feel like I have gained so much knowledge of what will be expected on becoming a leader in the future as a teacher. I feel confident in the leadership I want to instill as a teacher and coworker. I am excited and nervous on where this educational path will take me, both in my personal life and my career as a leader. Where do I go from here as a leader? These aspects I learned during this degree program will definitely work into my plans on becoming a teacher in the near future. Having a contingency theory leadership in the classroom is what I would like to do. I would need to find out what would be beneficiary or benefit my classroom the most, the students in my classroom. Will it be a task-oriented leadership style leadership or a relationship-oriented style leadership? By assessing each student's readiness level, learning style, and individual needs, I would be using a situational model of leadership. I would need to find out what would work for all the students individually and figuring out which students would need either the delegation support, coaching, and then tailor that information to each of their individual needs. By adjusting my leadership approach based on the situation and the needs of my students, I can create an effective and dynamic learning experience that promotes student success. After this semester, I plan to continue my classes by taking the Texas PACT test and, God willing, pass it. Then apply for the CBE Alternative Teacher Certification Program. Then, once I become a teacher, I would love to continue my education for my master's degree in education. I would not want to stop there. I would love to acquire my PhD in education in the future. So, my 3 goals in the next year would be first, pass the Capstone 2 class. After that, passing the Texas PACT test and beginning on the acceptance into the CBE Alternative Teaching Certification Program to become an elementary teacher. My second goal would be to further my education by continuing on to my master's degree. And my third goal would be to learn all I can about being a better leader and maybe even implement a program that would help the students in any educational needs that they might need, if needed, at the school where I will be teaching. There would always be a program or something that you can come up with to help out with the students. I really believe that these courses have helped me out a lot with the learning and learning so much about different leadership styles and theories. This is only the beginning of a great future as an educator, as a future educator. And that was my presentation of what I have learned through the leadership courses at Texas A&M University and Commerce. Thank you so much.